Hey everybody, Boris Forex. Welcome to the weekly technicals for the crosses for Jan 19th, 2019. The big story in front of us, of course, is going to be Brexit, and therefore I think the pound crosses look the most interesting because they're really at these critical junctures, both technically, of course, and fundamentally. The three ideas I have in front of us for the week: Euro pound with a clear bias to the downside right now on a technical basis. 91 to the upside is the resist. Support is 89. It's basically a pro-pound trade if you're selling it. Euro CAD, which is a sort of a non-pound trade that I found very interesting because there, if you want to hedge your short euro position, the Euro CAD long looks to me very like an interesting trade, coming up to some very good support. And lastly, the pound yen, which is on the verge of a big breakout to the upside. So the two pro-pound trades, short euro pound, pound yen to the long side, look very compelling on the charts. Let's take a look at them and just see how they set up. Here's the pound yen one. And you can see we have the fat finger spike, the big recovery. By the way, very, very powerful. There was a stronger recovery and a stronger buy signal on the pound yen than perhaps even on the pound itself. Look at this post fat finger day recovery where the green candle comes in, takes out the highs of the day prior, completely engulfs the move, and essentially signals a strong upward bias. We spent 3 or 4 days consolidating off that signal, which happens quite a lot. And then today, we are literally at the high of this range. This 140 range is the big breakout range. This is going to be a very key tell. If we get positive news, either some sort of a compromise, last-minute compromise where the parliament does pass the deal, or some notion of a delay, or whatever positive news that we can think of on the pound side, this pushes us through the 140 level, and then we can really take off all the way up to possibly 144 on a truly strong push higher. This will be a big pro-risk trade if something works out well for the pound. The downside here is very limited to 37. Break back below this whole range of consolidation doesn't necessarily negate the positive structure, but it definitely diminishes it. And at that point, the trend looks more exhaustive, and you could certainly have a dribble all the way down to like 135, 135.75. So overall, we just coiled for a push higher here. The market clearly anticipating positive news on cable, and if that comes through, this move that can take us all the way through to like 142, 143 at very minimum could be a very, very powerful move. That's the most levered way, I think, of trading this particular pair into a positive Brexit scenario. The other way, which has also shown itself today very strongly in the charts, is look at this big reversal. We took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lows in one big candle. That's a big signal. But as is often the case, these big signals don't always signal continuation right away. There's generally at least some continuation when you have these big candles, but sometimes you're going to get retraces, and sometimes the continuation kind of takes a few days, sometimes even weeks for it to go forward. So this is a pretty powerful move. We certainly have even more room here to take out the 20-period SMA, which means from here, which is around 89.29, we probably have scope till about 88.80, another 40, 50 points before probably we find a little bit of support on this move to the downside, unless we get truly momentously positive news. Let's say surprise of the week that UK Parliament actually passes May's deal, and they now have a soft Brexit in place. Then this thing comes right down to 8,800 really well. That's the big support at the 500 SMA. So definitely the bias to the downside in Euro pound right now. It's a momentum trade, but as always, very volatile trade. So you got to trade small size and give yourself plenty of room to let this thing breathe. The last trade that I want to show you, this Euro CAD. Let me just punch it up here. Is the exact opposite. Here, when we talked about the idea that the CAD was the weakest against the dollar, and the dollar CAD is finding a little bit of support at those levels. Well, the Euro CAD is sort of looking the same way. Now, Euro got a big bad hit today, but if Euro consolidates, to me, the Euro CAD trade may be a softer way to play a pro-Euro trade going forward. Remember, we had this big move. We now came back to the 20 SMA. That's a natural level of support. The true support here is around 5,100. That's where I would stop myself out. If I'm below 5,100, I'm already well into the selling territory. But at these levels, it looks like a decent consolidation point and potential for a scope back up towards the 5,300, especially if Caddy kind of loses its way and trades back up to 33, 34 over the next couple of days. So those are the three better ideas I have. Of course, it's all Brexit all the way, so I'm going to be watching it with bated breath on Tuesday. Wish you guys the best luck, the best trading. Boris Schlossberg, over now.